Hi everyone, welcome to another video. So I've got a very hungry Claire. So this is the best time for me basically to film. So yes, she'll be joining me while having her milk. So this is going to be her 2-month update. And also I guess my 2-month postpartum, though not much has changed with me, so I'll just quickly jump into that part. So I've lost a little bit more weight. I'm just weighed myself. I'm now 69 to 70 kilos. And I think I was about, just before I had Claire, I was losing weight then. So I think I might have been about 80 kilos then. I'm not too sure. So I can't remember now. But when this video goes up, she will be 10 weeks old. So, but yeah, with me, I'm feeling pretty good. I would like to focus more on my diet, so if anyone has good suggestions for snacks for you know, for breastfeeding mums and also just mums in general, I'm just finding, obviously I find it hard to fit in my meals with the 2 girls now, so if anyone has any good suggestions, let me know of quick and easy meals I can get and snacks that are quick and healthy. So Claire, yes, so as you can see, I'm feeding her a bottle. I am still breastfeeding, but I am starting the process very slowly, process of weaning her onto a bottle. By the time I go back to work later on this year, will be having bottles. I think I will still breastfeed her in the nights and the first one in the morning. But for now she's having formula. She has one about near her lunchtime, so this is her lunchtime bottle, and then I give her one before bed as well. Talking about the formula, she's been suffering really badly from colic. Ellie never had colic, so this is the first time that I'm dealing with this, or we are dealing with this, and yeah, it's not fun. I didn't know what it was to start with because she's taking iron supplements. That's from the pediatrician. They recommended that she takes iron supplement that can make them constipated. So when she was just screaming, I thought maybe she's constipated. Turns out it's colic. We took her to the doctor and that's what they said. Colic is quite hard, as they said it's not really a diagnosis. There's nothing that you can really treat it as such. It's just one of those things, they just scream, and there's no real particular position that she likes. It just depends on the day. We just try different positions, but it's just a matter of her finding one that's comfortable and finding a way for us to make her feel comfortable. So we're dealing with that. It's very heartbreaking to see her go through that, and it's very distressing for us as well because it just feels like there's so little that we can help her with, but even though we're doing all we can to help her, it's just really hard to watch. We do have her on a particular colic formula from the chemist. It's by Novalac, and it's a formula specified for colic. Now, to be honest, I don't really know if that does anything. It was a lot more pricier, so I would have liked to have thought it does do something, but I really don't know. Actually, I put up on Facebook that I needed suggestions for colic, and I had a lovely lady that I know. She recommended, there's a chemist up north from us, it's about an hour away from us, and it's called Dr. Glass Wind Tonic. Now, I'd never heard of it before. Everyone I spoke to hadn't heard of it before. It is, the reason why is because Dr. Glass is actually the pharmacist. We're talking, I think he was around even in the 40s also. Like, we're talking years ago. I don't think he's around now, but he created this wind tonic for colicky babies. And it's like gripe water. So if anyone's heard of gripe water, it's like that, but they make it on the premises of the pharmacist. So it's a well-known pharmacist. It's nothing dodgy like that. Recommended that everyone that has given it to their babies raves about it, and I've got to say, a day into it I noticed a big difference. Claire was just happy. She wasn't, it was to the point before taking this wind tonic, if she wasn't asleep, which she was sleeping for very little, and we're still working on that, she would just cry. So if she wasn't feeding, she was crying. And if she wasn't crying, she was sleeping for about 20-30 minutes, which, as I said, we're still working on that. But yeah, a day into it I noticed a massive difference, and she still does get the colic, but it's not as bad, I guess. Well, it can be still, but it's not all day. It's often in the afternoon. So yeah, it's just incredible. So that's been helping us. That's a lifesaver. I've read that they can tend to grow out of the colic stage by about 12 weeks. So we're almost at 12 weeks, few weeks to go. So well, 2 to 3 weeks to go. So I'm, yeah, kind of helping for her sake that she gets some relief. If anyone does have any other suggestions to help with colic, let me know, please, because, you know, it's something that you know, if anyone is reading through the comments, they can get suggestions too, and also I'd like to see what other suggestions are out there to help them. All of Claire's blood tests are done for now. We are going to be taking her to another paediatrician, just as a second opinion, really. That won't be coming up for another few weeks or more, I don't think. So that's what will be happening with Claire. So we're just going to see what another paediatrician thinks. We still really don't know what they were looking for, and I don't think they knew either. It was just a matter of testing for everything. It's something that still boggles my mind. Just, you know, I get asked all the time, so what are they looking for? I don't know. I really don't know. We know in the early days the big one was biliary atresia. That was the big one they were looking for, and that was when we had to take her down for the decider scan. But that was clear. That was when she was 2 weeks old. So they're just testing her for blood disorders, I think, and all sorts. They did say her blood platelets are a bit high still, but nothing urgent to really deal with yet. So it's just really waiting now. Just waiting, and we might get another blood test just to check the blood platelets. She's going in for another hip ultrasound just to check her hips. I'm not sure if I explained in another video, but with the hip ultrasound, she was 48% on each hip, and they've got to be 50%. So she was just so close from having perfect little hips, but they just said to get the ultrasound done in another 6 weeks time just to double check that everything's all good. So we're getting that done early September. With Claire sleeping, the night she's pretty good. We are setting up routines now. I've been kind of following the save our sleep routines, which it's hard when you've got a baby with colic and a baby that doesn't nap for very long. So really I just go by Claire's cues. I follow it as close as I can. We do get up around the same time every morning, which is 7 o'clock. So we're keeping that feed about the same time each morning, and bedtime. So we'd like both our girls, well, Ellie's in bed normally definitely by 7 o'clock. Claire, I'd like her to be in bed by 7, but again, she's still so little. Yeah, with her bedtime, she's feeding a lot more before bed, so we're kind of starting her bedtime routine about 6:20, and she's normally in bed either just a tad before 7, or if we're having a bad night, it would be after 7. Finding that she's catnapping during the day, I'm up for suggestions, please, anyone. This morning she actually slept for an hour and a half, which is the longest in a couple of weeks. So, but what she normally is doing, she's sleeping for on average 40 minutes, and that apparently is just stage 1 of sleep, or 1 sleep cycle. So she's not really sleeping or getting into a deep sleep as such. I read up the other night that if the baby wakes up less than 40 minutes to try and resettle them for 10 minutes. If it doesn't work, then it's a wait time. For me, if she gets to an hour, that's great. So I was actually going to try that method out today, but she happened to just sleep longer. And I think the problem was she's either having a growth spurt or she's just wanting more milk. So what I'm doing is for her, so what I'm planning on doing is when it's a breastfeed, I'll breastfeed her first and then top her up with a little bit of formula, and then when it's just her bottle, I'll put a bit more in the bottle. So I'm trialing that out, and that happened to it this morning. So I think she could have just been hungry, and also making sure, because she's got the colic, she has to be winded well. It's hard to say how much you can wind them. I think I normally do 10 to 20 minutes, but we're doing about 10 minutes. She normally will bring something up. She also spits up a lot too, so we've got to be careful there. So with Claire, I think it's making sure I've ticked off the boxes before I put her to bed, so making sure she's definitely full enough and she's winded. We do sleep associations. I did this with Ellie early on too. So I have Claire in her Love to Swaddle little sleeping bag. It keeps their arms up in the natural sleep position. So I'll leave a link down for that. They are wonderful things. I love them. I was swaddling her, but she was just getting out of them in the end, and Ellie did this exact same thing. So yeah, so I now have Claire in that little suit, and that's been great because she can't get out, and it's a zip up one. We also have white noise, and we have a little mobile going on as well. So they're her sleep associations at the moment. I try and put her down while she's awake so she can self-settle. So she has been doing that. Some days not so much, because it's either she's just suffering bad from the wind, or she's just not having it, so we settle her. But you know, more times she's self-settling herself. So that's really about it from us today. I was going to do a 3-month update, but I think 2 months is a good one because we've just had a lot going on and a lot of changes. Yeah. So I might do a month, maybe monthly updates now, as she's getting older. I find that really, not that she's slowing down because they grow so very quickly, but, oh, good girl. I'll have more to update you on if I do monthly ones, but in between all of that, I'll be doing vlogs. I'm thinking about bringing my food diary back, so I haven't done that in months. So, and they were really good videos, so I think I will probably start doing that, and also just you know, mummy videos in between. So if you've got any other suggestions or comments on videos you'd like to see, please leave them down in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.